Hello and welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be looking at Bradford Forster Square Station. So here I am currently on the roof of the Broadway Centre, because you can get a really good view of the site of the old Bradford Midland station, or Forster Square Station. It's had numerous names over the years, and right there in front of us is the Midland Hotel, named after this station as it was originally called. And then straight in front of us there would have been Forster Square Station and its large goods site on the right hand side there. So we're going to head down on the ground and take a closer look around that whole site, because there is still lots to see even today. So this is the Midland Hotel, a bit closer, and it's now owned by the Britannia Group. God rest its soul. Anyway, let's head over to what was the original Forster Square or Midland station. So the station front, it looks like it would have been this bit here, but it wasn't. This was like the entrance in. There was like a little foyer there, shall we say, into the station. But the main actual station building was straight down in front of this, in a straight line. And then on the right hand side here, you had the goods shed. And if you just look at the outer wall just over there, that was the inner wall of the station building, with the goods shed on the other side of it. Now I was going to try get onto the old goods shed site today, but I've just noticed there's a load of diggers and workmen on there, so maybe that's not possible, but we'll find out. Let's head through here, and I'm going to show you some awesome remains, or nods back to the old railway still there today. So in case you don't know Bradford, this is still a station known as Forster Square even today, but it's a shadow of its former self. It's no more now than another bus stop, like the interchange. But anyway, let's head through and have a look at this side. But it is nice to see this original stone structure still is retained today, with some lovely crests on it there. And I do remember when I was a kid, this being actually Forster Square, and the old roundabout over there somewhere, and the big car park that used to be here, right where this road is now. I used to sit and wait for my dad to nip into Argos. We're now going to head round the side of what was the station site, where this lovely wall still continues down the side. So you can see what was, I will call it the entrance foyer to the station, which would have been all inside there, and then beyond it here as well. So all this back end would have been part of the inside of the station concourse. So you would have walked through here, and then right in front of you there would have been the platforms and the rail lines heading out straight forward, and even on this side as well. But there is something I want to show you inside the hotel, if I can get inside, which is just through them doors, I think. Now just check this out. So this is the back entrance to the Midland Hotel, which is where you would have headed out with your luggage from the hotel, and directly into the station building, which would have been through there. Now just check this out. All the old tile work, and the original wooden floors there, look. All sloped so you can slide the luggage down. I do love that they've kept this in exactly the same condition. How long that's going to last under Britannia, I do not know. They've even got the old benches and the old signs in here. It even says there, look, hotel reception, ballroom and restaurant. An old sign up there. And just look at this, the old luggage racks. That's amazing. Yeah, so it's still here today. The original entrance into the hotel, or the back entrance from the station. I mean, look at that old sign up there. You may telephone from here. And then into the main hotel building, which is right through there. And look at that, the Midland Railway. So yeah, I absolutely love that, how everything's still here. Just notice on these luggage cases here, it says Bram Stoker Esquire. Little details like that is fantastic. And actual names on the tags, Wallace Arnold. Who remembers Wallace Arnold? Yeah, that's amazing. And an old, well, I don't know what that is, a weighing scale? Yeah, luggage weighing scale maybe. Yeah, that is fantastic that that's all still here. Yeah, brilliant. I'm glad we could get in there. I thought it might be closed off, or even worse, not accessible at all. Yeah, the gate, old iron gate to close the entrance up, and the Victoria rooms, whatever they are. And an old railway sign there, look. No parking in front of this platform, love it. And back out through the door, so yeah, you would have been inside the station when you exit that corridor there. I said this would have been, I think, covered in at least. Anyway, let's head further round. We've got more stuff to show you. And as we just head away from the hotel, you can see the old central wall there, the one piece that remains. It used to span all the way down and through what is now the Inland Revenue in that building. And that used to separate the two separate sections of the station under the old canopy roof. In fact, I think there was 3 sections. But what I'm going to do is just do a before and after shot, which was taken about here looking straight forward. Yeah, I hope you can see what I'm talking about now, with the platforms being right in front of us. So I believe there was quite a few platforms in this station. It did alter across the various years, and then this would have been the back end of the first couple of platforms in the building, and you can see some old little inlets into the hotel and basement levels, and some of these old warehouse storage places under here. And yeah, there is a walkway just up there. We will head up there shortly. We're going to go down the side of the Inland Revenue building now, and then into the new station, or the new Forster Square Station, which, yeah, it's okay. It's no station fit for a city though. Here we are in the courtyard area. So we just look up here. This is one of the original access roads down, which is still used today for the station. The original access road down into the station, and these amazing arches here that are still remaining today, and they keep talking about putting shops in these and doing something with them, but so far they haven't. A lot of them are used as homeless shelters now, and they did try to spruce it up a few years ago by putting some LED lights in, as you can see, but that's all seemed to have fizzled out. A few plant pots, and then again, this up here is a road at the top of there, and it's quite a high retaining wall. That is massive, and that used to be a bridge that went across in that direction. So where the lifts are now for the current station, that used to be a double arch span bridge there over the tracks, and then a road that went down to the far side over there. I remember this as a kid, because I remember coming down here, or driving down here with my dad probably in the early 80s, mid 80s, and there was a car park down here where the Inland Revenue building is now. And I remember Forster Square Station, the new version, not this new one, the one previous to this, just over here, the old canopies, steel canopies. I remember them. I remember sitting in the car here in the car park, because my dad's friend was a car park attendant in this car park, and I do remember the large span bridge there, large arches anyway. Yeah, that's all gone now. It's now a lift shaft at the end to get up and down. And I do like this little nod as well to the old station. This sculpture here You can see the old rail lines in the floor, which have been relaid in a pattern. They all culminate up here in a huge steel railway line sort of sculpture with some things sticking out the end. I don't know what they're supposed to represent, but they did light up years ago. I don't know if they still do. I remember them having like fibre optics in them, and they used to light up. There's a green one there and a blue one on this side. Yeah, they look amazing. And an old Bradford saying there, yes mush. So let's head and have a look at the new Forster Square Station. So like I say, the original one was actually called the Leeds Bradford Railway. Then it was renamed to the Midland Station, which is what everyone knew it as back in the day. Then, I think in the early 1900s, it reverted, or it changed to Forster Square, which is what we know it as today. But then there was a 60s or a 50s or 60s revamp, which is the one I was talking about with the metal structure over here. Then there's the 90s revamp, which is this one, which I'll turn you around and show you. So this is today's modern Forster Square Station. Like I said, it's no more than a blooming bus stop, is it? But if you look up there, you've got your lift shaft there, up to street level. And you can come in the way I've just come in, this way. And then if we head through, I'll just show you the couple of platforms. Now I do know there's been a lot of rumours going around that they're running out of capacity at this station, so especially with the platforms. Just look down here, probably the old coal bunkers at the side as well, still here today. And I know there used to be a cattle shed down here as well, probably somewhere up there. Yeah, just I think there's 4 platforms, or 3 maybe, and that is it. So let's head out. Oh, I forgot, a little shop as well, and a ticket office. So right where the new station now starts, just up here, where the platforms start, this was also perfectly in line with where the old ones ended. So the platforms would have ended somewhere around here, and obviously headed down that way. So it's kind of moved up a few feet. And again, I'm going to show you another photo fade taken from around here, which is going to give you more of an idea of what this place looked like. And it's hard to comprehend as well, but all these were huge goods areas down here, sidings, massive goods sheds, especially on this side. Like I said, that was a huge goods shed right there next to the main station. So you can see the boundary of the station here. That's the old inner wall. There was another one on that side which is gone now, and that was the inner wall of the station. So it was quite a wide station with multiple platforms, and the original iteration before the 50s and 60s version used to have an actual canopy roof as well, a bit like Bradford Exchange or some of the other bigger stations. And yeah, that got demolished and it ended up with just some shelters, pretty much like you've got today on this one. So even from like the 50s, it was downsized. We'll take a closer look at that inner wall, but before I do, I just want to get a photo fade taken from outside Poundland. How classy. So if we just look at this picture, taken from around this spot here, and you'll see one of those 2 arches I was referring to earlier that used to be over the car park where the lift shaft is now, and the road bridge as it continued, and also the 50s or 60s horrible steel platforms or the canopies that were there back then, and that central wall as I fade back out that's now gone because the Inland Revenue's plonked right on top of it. And like I say, the outer one still remains over there. Let's go take a closer look at that. So I'm in one of the back car parks now. This part's used as a storage place by the looks of it. And there's the back of that retaining wall there. Some of the old railings on there. But yeah, I was hoping we could get in there. But it is an active building site, which is quite disappointing. And I also can't get down the other side because it's a private car park for the Inland Revenue. Anyway, I'll get you as close as I can to that wall without going in there. Yeah, you can see that there. So that was the divider between the station on this side and what was the goods shed on the other side. And like I said, this wall was also repeated between the platforms as well, all the way down. Now I'm going to try to do another photo fade from right here, and it will show you the footbridge that used to cross the tracks, along with the platforms extending out as far as where I'm stood currently, and also the road bridge behind it as well. And you can see those horrible 50s canopies again, and that lovely Bradford Forster Square sign. I wonder where that is today. Probably in some railway museum somewhere. They normally are. Now I do think that that picture is taken just slightly further down here, but as you can see, we got Poundland there today, so I ain't going to be standing right where that is. So I think it was just level with that wall, looking down the platforms, but you get the idea. So the station was over there, and the goods site was here. And all of this that we stood on now, the retail park, was all the goods site as well. And sidings, you name it, all right here. Hundreds of lines all the way across. Not hundreds, but a lot. So right here is a new bridge called Hamstrasse, which was built, if I remember rightly, in the 90s. It was a road bridge, but it replaced another one which was here, but I think it was further to the left. I can't quite remember. You've got the live railway lines other side of this hedge here. I'll show you that when we get down. All the delivery yards for the retail park are behind, but these would have all been sidings and bits where they stored everything, and little factories and warehouses, you name it. And I believe there was also a brewery just up there on the right hand side, right in between all the railway tracks, and it was where the retail building is today, and it was the original Bradford Brewery. Here's a look at the Forster Square Station, so you can see the live tracks here now. So they still follow the original route into the city. And the platforms run all the way up here because they do take the London trains, the London trains. So yeah, it's quite a long platform this. I do remember getting a train to London. And so that's pretty much all there is to see at this top end. But what I'm going to do is take you up on this bridge now and show you a picture taken looking down that way towards the station and its remains. Now again, every station I've done in Bradford, I've mentioned that there's plans to revamp it. So the interchange is supposedly getting a big revamp, which it bloody needs. Forster Square is also on the cards for a big revamp. Now I know that Network Rail, or somebody at Network Rail, has been approached about doing it, so it looks like they're seriously looking into it, and they were asked to be on the project team for it. So it looks like it's going to happen, but I mean they've been talking about it since about 2014, 15, and it still hasn't yet. So, and it'll probably scale back compared to what they say they're going to do. Typical funding things. But anyway, let's see what happens with that. If it does happen, I'll come back down and follow the changes in the construction of it for all of them. So let's do another photo fade. So this picture we're going to fade into now. You'll see that the retail park is not there on this picture. And also this is in its latter stages, or its latter years. You can see the original, or the horrible steel canopies of the old platforms down there at the back, along with the road bridge, the footbridge, and the two arches that I was referring to earlier on. Now this, I believe, is probably late 80s, early 90s maybe. I'd say late 80s. And probably my era that I remember. Like I said, when I came down and got on the old pacer trains with my brother, we used to do the day rover. We used to do the old day rover tickets on the trains when I was like 3 or 4, even 5. I remember it. I remember going in there to the original Forster Square Station, and it being really gloomy and dark and just concrete and nothing else. And it was just awful, really horrible. It was obviously being wound down and coming to the end of its life, but I remember that, and getting on the old pacer and heading off into Leeds and the bigger stations of Leeds. But so I did see it in its latter years before they smashed it to pieces, pulled it all down. Not many of these stations that I cover on the channel do I actually remember. Not open anyway. There's a lot of them I might remember the remains, but that's about it. Whereas this one, I actually remember it open and running. Bradford Exchange, I missed out on that because it was demolished, I think the year I was born or just before. But I do remember the site, the remains of it, and the derelict site. But Yeah, this one, I can actually say I went to it and I did use it, which yeah, is a first for the channel anyway. Here we are on Manor Row, just heading round the back of the old station, and that's today's main entrance to Forster Square down the escalators. Like I said earlier, this road here used to continue straight through here and onwards over a bridge down there, straight down to the other side of Forster Square. No longer today. It is the lifts down and a large staircase and the old retaining wall here. So them arches that we were looking at are directly underneath here now. Those huge arches, and the Inland Revenue building is just the other side of that wall. Yeah, this hasn't changed at all, still exactly as it was and as I remember it as a kid. Yeah, just as with anything in Bradford these days, you've also got another entrance here for the station that I showed you, but they are just not worthy of a city of this size. The two little pokey entrances to this station, and the interchange is probably even worse. It looks like coming into some back end dirty hole when you come out of the interchange. Like I said, they are working on sorting that out, but will they? That's another question. Yeah, this is the rather uninviting Bradford Forster Square entrance today, which used to be the old goods entrance. Just says it all really, doesn't it? But I do remember driving through here. Like I said, you used to be able to drive round and down into the station, and they also had an entrance into the hotel there as well. This was the goods entrance, or the vehicle entrance at the time, and there used to, like I say, be a car park down here when they knocked the station down, or in its later years anyway. The station was still open, but it was literally being phased out. And yeah, so this would have been the top of the, or the end of the station platforms right here where this wall is, and you would have been able to stand on here, not like you can today, and look out over the platforms straight forward there. Well, I'm afraid that's it. There's not much to show you left on this site anyway. But thank you very much for joining us here at Bradford Forster Square Station. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be more to come from Bradford. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.